Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Sunday, September 12th. In this video, we will be doing game recaps. Last night, Southeastern played. Southeastern did play a good a shootout game, and also we'll have the Nichols recap as well. Also, we'll have the press conferences from Ed Orgeron and also Willie Fritz. So we'll start that first. Willie Fritz and Ed Orgeron. So talking about yesterday's games. So let's go ahead and put those links in. So I'm going to put the links in for you. And we'll do that. So if you want to come in video chat about anything in the world of sports, you can come through the StreamYard links. That's in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we're going to send the links to Facebook as well. So I'm going to go ahead and send that link to them. I'm going to go ahead and send those links out. You can pull. So let's go ahead and begin. There we go. Everything's on the screen. All the links. Also, if you want to come in regular chat, you can put some in the chat room. We'll make sure everybody gets their opinion across. So let's go ahead and go through yesterday's games. LSU did win yesterday 34-7, and Tulane wins their game 66-14. Their game was against Morgan State. So let's go ahead and give you the Tulane press conference from yesterday, talking about yesterday's games. I'm going to go ahead and switch that in. Give me a second. Put that in.
We'll open it up to questions for reporters.
Yeah, well, I was really happy with the focus and the attitude and the effort early in the ball game. You know, we never talked about it with our players at any point in time, but you know, we knew we were playing someone that we should beat and beat convincingly, and you can see that watching tape and things. I'm giving all the credit. You know, Morgan State coaches did a super job there, but you got a young team and you know, didn't play last season at all and only had one game under their belt. But going out and doing it is a different thing. You got to go out and really understand your assignments and play hard and you know, impose your will upon them. And I thought our guys did a nice job of that. And got to play. I think every guy on the sideline played. I'm pretty sure every single guy that was dressed in equipment played today. And you know, it's a tremendous reward for you know, our guys that are out there practicing and playing. Not very many people make that move from high school football to Division I football. And you know, a bunch of these guys that I'm going to be able to tell people they played Division I football and they played in the game. You know, we had some guys score their first touchdowns and get some meaningful carries, and they deserve it. And that's tough when you go in the fourth quarter and you've been repping the scout team. You know, some of those guys might have known what Morgan State does better than what we do. That's what they've been doing for the last week. It was great to play everybody, and very proud of the team effort.
Questions for Coach Fritz?
Really, maybe the biggest eruption on the sideline was when Bobby Noel made that field goal at the end. What's his story in terms of obviously freshman you gave a chance to score?
Oh, everybody loves Bobby. He's a great young man, hard worker. You know, and the guys just, you know, were excited that he got an opportunity to kick a field goal in a Division I football game. So it was, the guys, you know, they love Bobby and everything he brings to the team. You know, he'll do whatever you ask him to do. He's like an offensive tackle if you ask him to. He's just a really good team player.
It would have been easy for guys to be flat coming off the Oklahoma game, considering who you were playing. You addressed it a little bit, but just the intensity from the start seemed to be there.
We really pushed it, you know, this week. You know, these games are hard. You know, you're only guaranteed 12 of them. And, you know, winning football games is not easy. Everybody's trying to win football games. There's nobody that's, you know, going halfway on this deal. And so we wanted to make some improvement from week 1 to week 2. I think we did. Go out and watch the film here in a while and see if that's the case. But yes, I was proud of the effort and the focus that our guys gave today.
Justin Ibieta got his first real extensive action. How helpful is that going to be for him if he's called upon down the road?
I think it's great for Justin. I think Justin's got an opportunity to be a very, very good Division I quarterback. He just needs experience, and he got a lot of it. I think he probably got almost 2 full quarters of play, and I'm guessing. And I thought he did a very, very nice job. There's some plays he'd like to add back. You can rep all this stuff how you want to in practice, but when you get out there in a game, it's completely, totally different. So I'm glad he got those repetitions. And, I've been telling you guys for a long time that he's a darn good football player, and I think you saw that today.
You ever been involved in a blocked field goal that ended up in a touchdown?
No. We talk to our guys, all the time about a blocked field goal behind the line of scrimmage. Either team can advance a blocked field goal or punt that crosses the line of scrimmage. Only the team on defense can advance the ball. They touch it, it becomes live. We call it Leon let it be. A couple times that happened with the Cowboys years ago, and we show that tape every year to them. Tell them unless you're 1,000% sure if there's a block kick across the line of scrimmage, Leon let it be. Just get away from the ball. And our guys they knew when that was touched by them. Hey, get on it! I heard a bunch of guys saying that they were correct.
Ole Miss coming up next week. Again, you got to rest guys. They didn't have to play a long time. How much will that help? Maybe getting ready for Ole Miss.
Well, the win will help more than anything else. But the thing that was good was got a chance to play a lot of guys, and we went after them, in the first half, and some guys got some good play. And the thing you don't want is just guys, bye week where you don't play games. So that was good, and we got a day off tomorrow. Sunday off. We get back after and start prepping for Ole Miss next Monday.
Anything else for Coach Fritz?
Word yet on when you can come back to New Orleans? So when any clarity on that to this point?
No, not yet. We're hoping that it's going to be sooner rather than later. But I do know for certain we're going to be here all next week, and then driving over from here to go play Ole Miss. But we'll see. I just, I'm a rules follower, so I'll follow the rules. Whatever they tell me, we'll do.
Anything else?
Good?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll bring in Kevin Henry next.
Touchdown, Kevin Henry. Touchdown, Josh Coulter.
Yes, sir. That's the guy right there.
Let it be.
Yes, sir. I see you, Josh.
All right, questions for Kevin Henry.
So, Kevin, are you gonna have Jaquan Jackson watch your moves on your interception return, your 2 cutbacks there to let him see how it gets done?
And honestly, I don't even remember making the cuts. All the guys just told me I was making cuts. I was just trying to get names on.
How much did that mean? I mean, that's everybody's dream to get into the end zone. How good did that feel when you got there?
It felt good, especially when I had a big group of guys just come jump on me. That's the best feeling, just how much we work and just be able to just accomplish things like that, and just having the support. It just feels good as an older guy, as a leader, just as a team.
It would have been easy for you guys to be a little flat for today's game because you knew what the outcome was going to be, but the intensity was there for the first half when the starters win. Just what do you credit that to?
Or just a week of practice. We kept practicing. We didn't ease up. We practiced hard. We just tried to make a standard around here. Coaches did a good job of pushing us through our practice, and the players just executed when the time came.
What was your read on the interception before you made the return?
I was just on the quarterback eyes. He took me there the whole time.
Pretty easy. Ole Miss coming up next week. You guys got a lot of confidence the way you played against Oklahoma. Just how good do you feel as a defense right now after 2 games?
I feel pretty good. I feel like we got a lot of work to do, but just feeling good. Got to win today. Just got to get back to work.
Practiced here the last couple of weeks, but obviously fairly empty stadium. But just what was the feel like during the game?
I mean, we practiced there, so it was kind of a normal feeling. Some of the guys in the warm-ups was mentioning how it just feel like practice, like we about to practice, and I was just kind of telling them like that's how it's supposed to feel. Don't let the game become bigger than what it really is, and just come out and give all our effort. And that's what we did as a team.
When you see a guy like Josh Coltrane get a touchdown on a field, that's one of the craziest plays I've seen. Just how much fun was that to see?
Yes, sir. That was a crazy play. We actually watched film. The coaches put up some film where we taught as a defense to not get around it, and we saw Josh score. And I looked down there and see there was Josh. I almost jumped out of my shoulder pads. That's my guy. Josh worked hard. He's a guy that come to work every day and doesn't complain, and I'm just glad to see that he was able to get a touchdown today.
I guess he came here as a quarterback, and now he's playing other positions and scout teamwork, a lot of stuff. So is that the type of person you want to see get a chance for a touchdown?
Yes, sir. My man Josh.
Anything else for Kevin Hendrick? All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
We'll bring in Josh Coltrane next. All right. Questions for Josh Coltrane?
So Josh, what were you thinking when you saw them start trying to field the ball on the block field goal? I know you guys are pretty well drilled on what you can and can't do on that play. And did you know you had the touchdown when you fell off?
I think initially once I heard it was blocked, I think in my head I was like, oh no, hopefully it wasn't my guy that blocked it. And so I started looking for the ball. I think I actually turned around and looked the wrong way first, and I looked and saw where the ball was. I started running, and I saw the guy trying to pick it up, and Noah went and hit him, and I just went and jumped on the ball. And Coach Fritz talks all the time. I probably heard Leon let it be probably about 50 times since I've been here. So I pretty much knew it was a touchdown, but I wanted to know kind of like how it got blocked and stuff before I was too happy about getting the touchdown to make sure, it wasn't necessarily my fault it was blocked. So
when they signaled, they huddled for a while. When they signaled touchdown, what was your feel?
It was a cool feeling. Noah and Tim were right there, and we all knew it was a touchdown. So they were all telling me they're like, jump up and we're gonna pick you up here. So we were just waiting, and it took a while, and then it was cool seeing everybody else's reaction once they signaled that it was a touchdown.
In here as a quarterback, you've moved to other positions a lot in practice. How much do you feel like you kind of earned this moment?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. That was kind of almost like I was talking to Coach Colosimo, the locker room, and he said, "Oh, it was probably the easiest touchdown of your career." And it's kind of funny because I just feel like since I've been here, everything's been real, difficult in some ways. And this offseason, I've battled a number of injuries, and I've switched positions, and I just feel like a lot of things, maybe necessarily didn't go my way, and then for that touchdown to just come like that, it's crazy.
What injuries did you battle?
So I had a stress fracture in my foot, and then I broke my foot, and I pulled a hamstring, and I pulled a hip flexor.
That's the worst there. What was your first reaction?
That was something.
Running back first, or why running back? I think when they told you weren't a quarterback.
So just with the way stuff ended for me in high school, I think I came to Tulane, and I don't think I necessarily had the best mindset, and I was a bit down on myself and my abilities, and to some extent I think I was ready to move on, really ready to move on from quarterback, and I kind of came and I used to be able to throw the ball pretty well, and I kind of lost, a lot of my, throwing abilities to a certain extent. I wasn't throwing the ball great. So I think I was kind of ready to do something else. And they started putting me at scout team receiver my freshman year. And I thought, I did a decent job there. And then I gained a little bit of weight. I gained a good amount of weight. And I started gaining weight. And Coach Hall last summer, before my sophomore year or redshirt freshman year, talked to me about like, hey, I really think you can get on the field in the future somewhere else with the way your body's developing. And I was all for it. So the plan was just to kind of like, start learning different positions last season. And we had a bunch of injuries at running back. So I ended up, getting a little bit of reps at running back, and just kept working in this spring at running back. And, now I just play like pretty much everything. I think I played every single offensive skill position on the scout team. So yeah.
What happened to your throwing at the end of high school? You said you lost confidence, or you lost some ability. What occurred?
Yeah, I think I just got the yips. I came from a pretty big time high school program, and I think I felt like I let a lot of people down to a certain extent. So.
And how did you end up at Tulane?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but I kind of felt like based off. So I was, the first quarterback to start my high school and not get a Division I scholarship. So it was kind of a bit of a, shock. I think, from what I understood, I was kind of expecting I was gonna get a Division I scholarship offer somewhere, and it just never came. So when it didn't come, one of my coaches was kind of calling around, and Coach Conway said that, he can come and we got a spot for him to walk on here. And initially I wasn't very thrilled about it, and I kind of just went and thought about it and was like, what, I think I do want to play football in college. So just kind of decided on Tulane like that.
Congratulations, you earned it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
I think it's nobody else. I think.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
Get it.
All right, guys, we got Tyreek James here. Thank you, Josh.
Howard James.
Of course. Questions for Tyreek James?
Another game. Another big play for a touchdown. Just describe that play and how you feel so far after 2 games.
It was a good play. Coach Long, before that series, Coach Long was like, "Do we want to run this play?" And all the guys were just like, "Yeah." And when the defense ran, it was my time to make the play and go score.
Coach Long designed some plays to get you guys wide open. Just what is it about, and what is it about his play design that keeps doing that?
Coach Long's been a tight end guy for a long time, so his offense generally runs through a tight end. So pretty much every play is a tight end has a big impact on it.
You guys scored over 50 points in the first half. That's what you weren't playing a good team, but the intensity was there. And how much fun was it? Just to keep.
It was fun. It was fun. We told everybody in the locker room before the game we come out with the same intensity we had against Oklahoma last week, and we're just gonna come out on top this time.
Mm-hmm.
Big game against Ole Miss coming up next week. Just how good do you guys feel after 2 games going into that one?
Well, we feel good. We're gonna get back to the drawing boards and go watch film on Ole Miss to come back next week and be prepared for them.
I'm good.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank
y'all.
you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Okay, once again, Tulane football press conference from yesterday. I'm going to tell you this about this Tulane football team. To be honest with you, look, they played an absolutely dominating football game yesterday. bones about it. Look, Ole Miss, it's going to be an entirely different story because Ole Miss, look, Ole Miss, look, they had their coach, they have their quarterback, and Matt Corral. That could be a devastating blow to Tulane. But we go into that game next week and play consistent like we did against Morgan State. I'm pretty sure that we can win this game. So once again, we'll have Ed Urcheron, and then we'll recap Southeastern. We'll also recap Nichols and Louisiana. Those two games from yesterday, so we'll recap those games after the Ed Urcheron post-game press conference. So I'm going to switch this back in, and we'll give you the Ed Urcheron post-game press conference in just a second. Let me put it in.
All right, guys. First of all, what a great day. Tremendous day. Opening game in Tiger Stadium. Tiger Walk. Fans, fantastic. I want to thank you for being there. This light energy for our football team. Had a nice crowd, very loud, beginning of the game. Everything I told the recruits and new coaches about Tiger Stadium. I think it was a great start. We won the game. I'm very pleased with the defensive performance. I'm not pleased with the last touchdown on the screen. Very pleased with the pass rush. And I knew we were a good pass rushing team, but obviously we'll face different opponents down the road. On offense, we couldn't get it going for a while, but we hung in there. We tried to get the run game going outside. We had several offensive linemen that were out. We had a variety of runs, speed sweeps, tosses, counters, outside. We still had some protection problems. We need to look at it, whether it's personnel or whether it's scheme. We need to fix it because people will still come after us. But overall, we're pleased with the win. I thought from game 1 to game 2, we made a jump in a lot of areas. And now we need to take this next jump next week in a lot of areas. Any questions?
Thank you, Coach. Chris Langley with LSU Tiger TV. First off, congratulations on the win tonight. Now, second of all, it seems like the defense really came to form tonight, obviously, especially with that pass rush. Now, I know throughout the week you said going into the game, obviously, your son on the other team, he's your opponent. But after seeing tonight, was it weird all seeing your son get sacked like upwards to 10, 11 times, and you hurry just as much? Like, how was it? How did you react to seeing the pass rush?
To be honest with you, like the first couple of plays, it was kind of weird, but after that, I knew you couldn't handle it. And I watched all those games. The defensive game, he's been sacked much too, but he can handle it. He's a big man. He knew it was coming in. And I'm just glad he didn't get hurt, and hopefully that they can move on next week and have a great game.
Hey, Coach, just 306 yards of total offense. You're 416 on third down. How unsettling for those numbers to you?
Not good enough. I mean, that starts with protection first. We got to protect the quarterback. We got to get better. We got to stay ahead of the change, and just need to continue to make improvement. Hopefully, with our offensive line get back. We're going to have a better protection for our quarterback and better escapes.
Yeah, sort of on that same subject, missing those linemen as many as you did. Do you think that played most of the effect on this, or is it kind of bigger than just having those?
We against UCLA, we turned out protection, and it didn't work. So we had 5 old man. And, I thought that those guys could block the rushes from Mike Meach. We had a plan with number 40. He'd be doubled every time, chip. But I'm assuming that we got beat one-on-one. We need to see. Now, some of those guys are second-team guys, and they didn't have a lot of experience, but I need to see the film to see who was getting beat. Obviously, getting Austin Deckers back, Cam Wire back, Jason Hines back, Anthony Bradford back. Next week is we're going to be better.
It's serious. I mean, obviously, a lot of guys out. How much were you kind of attacking today versus kind of needing to maybe get through the week?
No, it was getting attacked. We need to get better. We're in a very good mood coming back from Los Angeles. It's about getting better. And it wasn't about LSU. So the whole week was about us getting better and us attacking.
Hey, Coach, with some of the, protection issues you guys have had the first few games, you kind of had to change some of your offensive identity, and you wanted to be a 5 wide out team with, focusing on the pass. But you guys had to kind of rethink things over the last
Sure. We have to slide the line. We have to keep a tight end in. We have to keep it back in, whatever it takes. to protect the quarterback because all these routes and all these good receivers running down the field, if we can't protect the quarterback, it's not going to work.
Yeah, Ron Hayes, right. Based on what you saw in preseason from your team, are you surprised you're struggling this much on offense?
You know what? A little bit, yes. A little bit. I thought, but we had some protection problems going against our defensive line in some scrimmages, and we changed the protection on scrimmage and put a tight end in the back end there. So we've been trying several things. So we want to get our athletes in space, but it's just not working. So we have to look at it again, and it's all going to be about protection first. Whether it's a tight end in the back, whether it's sliding the line, whatever it may be, we have to change it.
Coach, I wanted to talk a little bit about Mason Smith's performance, maybe kind of like a little breaking out for
Yeah. You know, I thought he rushed the passer very good the first game. I don't know if you guys noticed it. He had some very good one-on-one rushes. And then again tonight, he dominated his man. He had 3 sacks. Mason is a tremendous rusher, especially inside. He's very athletic. For a guy that's 6'5", a great young player for us.
And then there's just, I think 2 throws and a few drops. Is that surprising to you? Is that something you saw before? And what might be leading to that?
You know, we had less drops. Like, we go through a scrimmage, and Austin Thomas did our analytics. We'd have 3 drops in the scrimmage. There was less drops than we ever had. So, yes, and then 3 of them were very critical drops. One could have been a touchdown. One could have given us a first down. So we have to look at it. Why are we dropping them? What's happening? Who's dropping them? And who we throw them to.
And Cade York set a record and broke it himself. What would you say about his performance tonight? How much of an asset he is for you?
Very confident. Cade's going to be there on Saturday morning by himself in the summer. He's going to get his certain kicks. He's got his certain routine. You can't get him off his routine. I'll give you an example. Like last Thursday, when we was in Houston, we had a walk through inside. He had to go kick. And so we drove to the home and let him kick. But you know what? The kid is the young man is an outstanding kicker, an outstanding young man. He's a competitor.
I'm looking at the box score. I'm sorry, maybe a little KC. I'm looking at the box score here. Based on this, 5 receptions, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm being good piece for the offense tonight.
Yeah, well, Keyshawn's important to us, and man, I'm on the sideline. I want to get him the ball. I want to get him the ball. We're not speaking it, but we need to get more balls. So we need to get more passes. So we got to find out why we're not, what's going on, and he's got to get more catches. Good response. The guy's been phenomenal in practice. I think he did very well. Didn't make the big plays like I thought he would. I think he was running close last some of the time. A couple of times his passes were dropping, but I thought he did very good. And I wouldn't have no problem putting Garrett in if something happened with that. Thank you. Go Tigers.
Okay, once again, Ed Orgeron's press conference. Yeah, like I said, Garrett Nussmeier, that young man, look, he proved his point in the game yesterday. So I'll be honest with you, he's going to be a good quarterback. Make no mistake about it. In the near future. Look, Miles Brennan, sure, I would like to have Miles Brennan back, but it's not going to happen. Also, Max Johnson, that's another one. He kind of had some bad throws and stuff like that, but he came back and just absolutely just made a big difference. Now, like I said, whether they start Garrett Nussmeier against Central Michigan or start Max Johnson, no matter what, he's going to get Ed Orgeron is going to get more out of those 2 quarterbacks. Now the offensive line, they're going to have to get a lot better. What he said in his press conference, because look, sure, the defense dominated the game, but unfortunately the offensive line was kind of raggedy in yesterday's game against McNeese. So that was the unfortunate truth for the Tigers. So once again, LSU wins their game 34-7. We will have a game preview on Monday. LSU will take on Central Michigan. We'll have the coaches press conference on Monday. So let's go ahead and recap the last two teams. We're going to recap the Nichols Colonels, and we're going to recap the Southeastern Lions. Southeastern lose that game 45-42 was the final. In that game, it was a definite, once again, like it was last Saturday, a definite shootout. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put the box scores in. So I'm going to give you the box scores on the screen. So let me put that in. Let me get the grab the box score. We're going to go through the box score and see what happened in yesterday's football game. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, Southeastern losing 45-42 to Louisiana Tech. So let's give you those, run those box scores by you. Okay, the first scoring drive for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs was an interception. Louisiana Tech had a 7-0 lead. And then Southeastern, Tim Wilson Jr. had a 4-yard catch from Cole Kelly, took 12 plays, 91 yards, tied the game at 7, 4:02 off the clock. Louisiana Tech did score on a 12-play, 81-yard drive. It was a touchdown run by Greg Garner. It took 3 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock. And Louisiana Tech led 14-7. Southeastern came back. Tayron Jones had a 2-yard run, took 10 plays, 75 yards. Louisiana Tech back on top 21-14. So 21. It was 14-14, and then Louisiana Tech came back with a 2-yard touchdown from Kendall. Took 10 plays, 75 yards. They led 21-14. Bowens had a 44-yard field goal, 6 plays, 9 yards. The game was tied up. The game was 24-14. Also, Cole Kelly had a 1-yard touchdown run. It was on a 14 plays, 91 yards. The game was close. It was 24-21. Also, Louisiana Tech's Maxwell had a 33-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Maxwell, 8 plays, 84 yards, 31-21. And then C.J. Turner had a 47-yard touchdown pass from Cole Kelly. Took 3 plays and 75 yards, minute 7 off the clock, 31-28. That was in the third quarter. Garner had a 1-yard touchdown run, made it 38-28. It was 9 plays, 75 yards. Southeastern came back on a 12-play scoring drive. Took 6 minutes and 37 seconds, 38-35. Southeastern came back. Also, Harris had a 21-yard catch for a touchdown. Took 12 plays, 75 yards. Game was once again tied up at it was 38-35. And then Mitchell had a touchdown. Let's see. Louisiana Tech had a touchdown. Harris had a 21-yard catch. Made it 45-35. And then Southeastern came back and scored the touchdown. It was on 10 plays and 93 yards, 4 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock. Put Southeastern down by 3. So 45-42 was the score. That's how the game ended. 45-42 was your final score. So, like I said, in these drives right here, Louisiana Tech did score in the first. They scored twice in the first, twice in the second, twice in the third, and then one time in the fourth quarter. So let's give you the go ahead and give you the team stats. I'm going to give you those stats on the screen. Okay, Southeastern had 32 first downs. They outgained them 32-23. Southeastern had 7 runs, 23 passes in the game. Now, the rushing game, Southeastern had 99 yards on 27 rushing attempts. They have 3 rushing touchdowns. So they only ran for close to 100 yards. So that was in the game. Also passing the football, Southeastern threw for 495 yards. That was 44-59. He had 2 interceptions. They had 3 touchdowns through the air and 3 touchdowns through the ground. Now, total offense, Southeastern put up close to 600 yards. That's on 86 plays in the game. They only had 4 fumbles and lost it once. So they fumbled it 4 times and lost it once. Now, Southeastern punt twice. Louisiana Tech did a pretty good job. Defensively, Southeastern made Louisiana Tech punt 3 times in that game. So they did consistent on those punts. Now, on the time of possession, Southeastern had the ball for 32 minutes. Louisiana Tech had the ball for 27-12. On third down conversions, both teams went 7. Had 7 third down conversion attempts. Also, Southeastern and Louisiana Tech was even at 2 on their 4th down. Red zone efficiency, Southeastern went 5 for 5. They only had, one sack on the defense and 3 sacks given up. So that was in the game yesterday. So let's give you the individual stats. Let's go over the individual stats. Okay, Cole Kelly was sacked 3 times in the game. Also, Cole Kelly ran 14 carries for 42 yards in the game. So it was 199 yards rushing. Jones had 7 carries for 23 yards. Dunlap had 1 carry for about 15 yards. Johnson had 2 carries for 13 yards. And Jesse Britt had 3 carries for about 10 yards. So the only contributor on the carrying the football was Cole Kelly. So I'm going to tell you right now, Cole Kelly, look, he can run the ball and he also can throw the ball. That's a pretty good combination when it comes down to it. I mean, like I said, no dual threat no quarterback that's over 260 pounds can make those 2 adjustments. They would be absolutely a thrower or a dual threat runner in games. Now, the wide receiver core, let's go through the wide receiver numbers. Turner had 8 catches. Mitchell had 9 catches. Wilson had 7. Jones had 5. Carter had 4. Cabochas had 3. Dawson had 2. Givens had 4 in the game, so it was 4 in the game. For the Southeastern Lions, that was 44 catches for 495 yards. The main one was Turner with 8 catches for 131 yards. Their main catcher was Harris with 4 catches for 72 yards. And Smoke Harris had 4 catches for 45 yards. Now, defensively, Southeastern only had 1 sack against Louisiana Tech all afternoon in the game. So that's on the defensive stats. So let's go ahead and give you the drive summary. So I'll give you those drive summaries. Okay, the drive summaries for Southeastern. We'll go ahead and give you those. Okay, they had the punt only 2 times. One in the second quarter. Also, 1 in the fourth quarter. That took 3 plays and 5 yards. Now they had turnovers in the game. They had 2 interceptions and also 1 fumble that took 4 plays, 27 yards. The 2 interceptions was 8 plays, 33 yards. That was in the first. Also, 5 plays, 28 yards. That was in the second quarter of yesterday's game. So once again, your final score: Southeastern wins their game 45-22. They will take on Central Connecticut State next Saturday. That game will be 11 a.m. That game will not be on TV. It will be on the Southeastern radio network. If you want to listen to that game, you can go over to the TuneIn app and you can find the Southeastern Sports Network that will be on there for the viewers. So let's go ahead and give you the we gave you the box scores, box score numbers. I gave you the box scores, and so I say this: Southeastern, make no mistake about it. Southeastern had a culture of losing to FBS schools, but since Frank Selfo came in, they definitely just absolutely came in and made it a game. That was only a 3-point victory for Louisiana Tech. So, like I said, these FCS schools are not your old FCS schools that get destroyed. They come in, they definitely dominate these teams. And they might lose those games, but their performances are second to none. So, like I said, the FCS schools, people might say, well, they're just cream puff teams. No, that's not the case. These FCS teams are definite powerhouses in FCS football. I mean, people don't understand how these FCS teams come in and just play a definite game. So once again, let's go over to recap Louisiana and Nichols. We'll recap that game. So let me switch this out and we'll recap Louisiana and Nichols. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Nichols page. Okay, once again, Louisiana defeats Nichols 27-24. Also another shootout game for the Colonels and the Cajuns. That was at Cajun Field in yesterday's game. So we're going to go through the box score. We'll give you the breakdown of this game. So I'm going to go ahead and break this game down for you. Next game will be North Alabama. That game will be a 3 p.m. game. That'll be on ESPN Plus. Let's give you the recap of that game. Okay, I'm going to give you the full recap. So we're going to begin giving you the full recap. I'm going to switch this out and we'll put the box score in. Okay, here's the scoring plays. We'll give you the scoring plays. Okay, let's begin in the first quarter. Louisiana scored on a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock. It was a pass play from Levi Lewis, 14 yards out. Made it 7-0. Then Nichols came back with DeGene Dixon having a 21-yard pass play from Lindsey. Took 3 plays, 78 yards, a minute 10 off of the time of possession, tied the game at 7. Louisiana kicked the 46-yard field goal, 6 plays, 21 yards, made it 10-7. And then once again, Louisiana kicked another, had a touchdown. That was from 46 yards away, 4 plays, 99 yards. Made it 10-7, and then so it was on a 46-yard field goal, and then also that was on 6 plays, 21 yards, and then 4 plays, 99 yards later, Louisiana scored on a 46-yard pass in the second quarter. made it 17-7. Then Nichols came back with a 42-yard field goal that took 9 plays, 32 yards, a minute 38 off the clock. Made it 17-10. That was with 36 seconds remaining. And then Louisiana had a 67-yard interception return for a touchdown. Made it 24-10. And then Louisiana kicked a field goal, made it 27-10 on 14 plays and 72 yards. 4 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. Let's see. Franklin had a touchdown pass from Lindsey. Took 10 plays and 75 yards, 4 minutes and 26 seconds. Made it 27-17, so they were down by 10. And then Nichols came back with a 6-yard pass from Lindsey. Made it on 7 plays, 81 yards. Made it 27-24. So those drives were very significant drives for the Nichols Colonels in yesterday's ball game. So I'm going to tell you, they absolutely drove the football in that game against the Cajuns. So I'm going to tell you, the Cajuns, look, sure, they led the whole game, but the Nichols Colonels definitely just came back and just gave it a game. Like I was saying a couple of minutes ago, these teams, no matter if you're in the Southland Conference, no matter if you're in the MEAC Conference, no matter if you're in the SWAC Conference, they're going to come out and play football. I mean, like I said, don't underestimate a power of an FCS school. So 27-24 was your final. So let's give you the team stats. I'm going to go ahead and give you the team stats from yesterday's games. So let me put this up on the screen. Okay, on first downs, Nichols had 24 first downs, 9 on passes, 9 on runs, 15 on passes. So 9 on runs and 15 on passes. So they did get most of their first down on passes. Now the running game, Nichols dominated with 152 yards on 37 run plays. That was an average of 4.1. So definite win right there. They held the Nichols defense held Louisiana to just 90 yards on 31 carries. So they kind of was now the passing game, Nichols had 359 yards on 26 of 37 passes. Touchdowns, they had 3. So that was a dominant performance, 359 to 304. Total yards of offense, Nichols had 511 yards on total offense. That's on 74 plays. So they used a definite 74 play total in their game. So that was they went 6 of they definitely was 6 of 9 in their game. In their football game. So that's like I said, that was a dominating performance. But the Colonels defense held Louisiana to just 394 yards on 64 plays. So it's a pretty good difference. So Nichols did punt 5 times, but Louisiana had to punt 4 times in the game. So that was 3 and outs right there in the game. Now the time of possession, Nichols had the ball for 33 minutes and 12 seconds. Louisiana had the ball for 26 minutes and 48 seconds. Now, Nichols went 9 for 16 on third down conversions. Louisiana was held to just 5 for 14. Now, the fourth down conversions, they didn't do too well. On fourth down conversions, they went 0 of 1. Louisiana went 1 for 2. Now, the red zone chances, Nichols went 2 out of 3. They only had 1 sack on defense and 3 sacks on offense. So that was in yesterday's ball game. So we'll give you the drive charts. I'm going to go through the drive charts for you. Okay, Nichols' drive charts resulted in one touchdown that was on 3 plays, 78 yards. They had 4 punts, one on 4 plays, 23 yards, another on 12 plays and 47 yards, and another one on 6 of 15 plays. So 6 plays. They had another punt. Now they had they went for it on 4th down and did not convert. So that was on 11 plays, 83 yards. Also, they had an interception that was on 2 plays and no yards. Now, the last punt was on 4 plays, 25 yards. Now, the touchdowns, one in the first quarter, one in the fourth quarter, 2 in the fourth quarter. So 1 in the first quarter and 2 in the fourth quarter. So that was in yesterday's football game. So once again, final score for the Colonels. Colonels lose 27-24. So let's give you let's go through the play-by-play coverage. Okay, in the first quarter, for the Nichols Colonels, Nichols Colonels had the drive started at 12:04. They had 2 pass completions that was on 1st and 10, and also 3rd and 6. Now the next one for the Colonels, that was at 10-7. They had this was in the this was their second possession. They had 1 pass completion, 1 sack, and they did had the punt that was on 4th and 13, but they ran twice on those plays. So this was with 8:13 remaining. They had 2 runs and 1 pass. Now the next play breakdown, we're going to give you those play breakdowns. So let me give you the plays. Okay, this is on they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pass completions, and let's see, they had 1 and I say 2 incompletions on that was on the 14:45 mark. Now Nichols, this was the next play. Nichols drive started. They had 1 pass, 2 passes, 2 pass completions in the game. So that's how the plays began. Now this is Nichols' drive in the second quarter. They had started off with 2 runs, and then they ended with a field goal attempt that was in the 2:14. So that was in their football game. So that's how the games began on those plays. So that was what happened in the plays. So let's give you the stats on Lindsey Scott had 359 yards passing. He had 1 interception, 3 sacks, so he had 3 sacks. Lindsey had 18 carries for 121, so he was the main ball carrier for the Nichols Colonels. Gums only had 11 carries, 23 yards, but Lindsey Scott was their main ball carrier. Now the wide receiver core, Dajin had 14 catches, 198 yards. Also, Dantan had 5 catches in the game, so that was in the football game yesterday. Nichols had 1 sack. That was Zach Bernard having 1 sack in the game versus the Louisiana Cajuns. So defensively, they kind of have 1 sack, but the offensive line just definitely gave up 3 sacks in their game versus the Louisiana Cajuns. So not a bad performance by the Nichols Colonels, losing the game 27-24. They kept the game to 3 points. It could have been a blowout, but the fact is that they definitely kept this game really close to a 3-point differential. So once again, your final score, Nichols loses 27-24 to Louisiana. They will take on North Alabama. That will be next week. That will be on the Colonel Sports Network, and also they'll be on ESPN ESPN Plus. So that is your once again, that is your recap for Southeastern and Louisiana. So let's go ahead and give you some news headlines, and we will wrap this up. And we'll be back later on this afternoon for Saints versus Green Bay. We will have the game for you at 3 o'clock. We will also have post-game coverage once the games end. So we will be having that for you. So we'll give you some news headlines before we leave. So let me go ahead and switch this out, and we'll go ahead and give you those news headlines. So I'm going to go through some news headlines in just a second. So let me get my news headlines up on my phone. We'll give you those. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can scroll it back. Okay, we'll give you some news headlines. Okay, let's put this in. Okay, Jordan Mahler gets a 4-year deal worth $64 million. Let me put this up in the screen so you can see it. There it is. 4-year deal, $64 million. This is from Tim McManus. You can reach him at ESPN.com. So that's in the screen. That's Jordan Montana. Gets a $64 million contract extension. The deal will run through 2025. Also, it will be worth $80 million, including a $40.8 million guarantee. So that's in. Let me put this in. So this is the article we're showing you. Once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. That's ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we have. Should we get the articles up? I'm trying to look it up on the screen. Hold on. Okay, video of Florida State cheerleaders going viral after a loss. So that was in yesterday's game. Florida State loses to Jacksonville State. That was an absolute shocker for Florida State to lose to FCS school. But like I said in this video, and I'm going to keep saying it, these FCS schools are absolutely legit schools. Okay, this is the article we're showing you. We'll read it. Okay, let me put this in. Okay, Florida State suffered one of the most shocking losses in Week 2 slate. The Seminoles coming off an impressive Week 1 victory over Notre Dame. But Jacksonville State came in and beat them 20-17 on the last second Hail Mary pass. So that's what happened. So we will show you this video. So let me put the video in. Okay, this is the video right here. Nice little Hail Mary pass going deep, and Jacksonville State scores the touchdown. So that was the game-winning score. Jacksonville State winning that game 20-17. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, if the coach for Florida State doesn't win this year, I can guarantee you heads are gonna roll in Tallahassee. Let me roll this back. It was a 59-yard touchdown. It was a walk-off touchdown, so 59-yard game-winning touchdown. Okay, the cheerleaders walked past the celebration Jacksonville State team with their jaws wide open, went viral. Okay, this is from Tom Morton. Let's show you the celebration. So let me switch this back. Give me 1 second to switch it. I don't know why we're having a little. So, yeah, Florida State cheerleaders look sure they walked past that celebration. So once again, this is from the Spawn. Go to thespawn.com. Okay, let's see. Put this in. We'll show you some more articles and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, this is on your screen. Okay, NFL 49ers trade up at the NFL draft due to fears that the Patriots would get Max Jones. So that's probably what happened. So we'll show you the article in the screen so you'll see it. So that's what they're saying about also Jimmy Garoppolo and stuff like that. So we'll switch it in. So this is the full article we're showing you. So once again, this is from CBS Sports NFL coverage. Go to CBS Sports NFL coverage. And we'll wrap it up. Okay, Chiefs activate Tyrann Matthews from COVID list. So that is good news for the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, let's go ahead and give you the former Minnesota player passed away. So I'm going to give you a little update on them. Okay, legendary. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put it on the screen. Legendary Minnesota Vikings player passed away. And that was Nick Tingle Hoff, a longtime Minnesota Viking player, passed away at 81 years old. Please give your thoughts and condolences to his family. He did play with the Minnesota Vikings. Let's give you that, read that full story for you. He was a Hall of Famer. So this was, this is the player that did pass away. That's Nick Tingelhoff passes away at 81 years old. So once again, please give your thoughts and condolences to his family. Okay, he was an undrafted free agent back in 1962. He had played 240 consecutive games. So that was once again, Mick Tingelhoff passes away at age Okay, Buccaneers release player followed in the win over the Cowboys. So it looks like they are going to be replacing some players. So we'll pull this in. Okay, they are releasing Chris Cooper from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it looks like he is going to be finding another team. Okay, the Tampa Bay will take on Atlanta, so that'll be in week 2. The game will be at 4:05, so week 2, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. See what else we have, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. Later on this evening, we'll have Saints versus Packers. Game action will begin at 3:25. We will have the game for you here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Also, we'll have post-game coverage right after today's game. So we will be here for Saints football. Game and post game. So once again, until then, we will see you around 3 o'clock.